Hello, and thank you for joining the session. This afternoon, we're going to continue working on our chat bot. After the last session, we actually got pretty far. I thought maybe we would work on Discord. As you can see, Discord messages aren't showing up correctly. And actually, it looks like we're having issues with YouTube again. Wait, no. I don't think we are. With that, I'm thinking about something else. Although maybe let me double check here real quick. Let's go to see if there are any messages there or if they're just holding them. We'll see one watching. Oh, yeah, like it looks like I'm not sure why that's going to be there. Let me see. Let me try saying something again. And so that shows up. Let's see if it shows up on the live stream here. Might take a little bit of time for it to actually show up. Let me go back to the bot. Let's see here, Twitch, hello, see a hello. So we're getting Twitch messages, but not YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to restart the bot. I thought I had a fix for this. It's possible I haven't actually deployed it yet, but I'm guessing this is going to ensure that our YouTube messages come up correctly. Let's give it a second here. All right, up and running. Oh, got an error. Let's see, why did it error? Record next page token. String given for YouTube driver. Youch. Okay. I suppose we might as well try and fix that while we're here. So let's see here. It's coming in. You want to pass to record next page token. It was a string given instead. I wonder if it shows me which string we got. Either way, we can hop into the code. So let's go ahead and open that up. Oh, wrong project. Right? Not wrong project. It's the right project. It's a scratch file. All right, so let's go to our YouTube driver. So let's see, which message was it that gave us the error? Let's see here, record next page token. All right, current stream, live session ID. All right, that makes sense because that shouldn't be a string. So if I have this, or that should be a string. So if I have this as an integer, I wonder why it ever worked. It's possible PHP was able to determine these were all able to be turned into integers in some way. Like if they could interpret this as a number somehow, but this particular instance I couldn't. So let's, oh, session ID, wait a minute. Argument 1 passed, must be of type integer, string given. All right, so let's look at the Redis. Let's see what keys we have here. Session ID can't be int, right? Always a string. So Supernova on Twitch is asking about that. And actually, the session IDs are integers. Those are integers on my side. I thought at first maybe it was the live session ID or live chat ID, which should have been a string. But now that I'm looking at it a little more closely, this is actually supposed to be a session ID, which should be an integer. Let's see here. Let's look at Stream manager, Twitch viewers, author info. So we are getting the live session ID. And we get that from stream manager. Get current stream details. So this should be get ID. I wonder if something is returning that as a string somehow. So it's trying to get the guest session. And whatever that is getting something that we don't expect. So let's go here. Count sessions equals 0. Otherwise we get it from calendar. So I'm going to try two things here. First, I'm going to run calendar. I was running a little behind today, so it's possible that I have some race conditions because this calendar gets automatically updated once an hour. It's possible some weird cache stuff got in the way here, so I'm going to try running this again. See if it crashes right away. Yeah, I did it again. All right, so that at least that means that we can hopefully reproduce it. So I'm going to see if I can run the bot locally and get the same sort of behavior. I'm also going to make sure and push the stream online. So it looks like it's actually pulling stuff correctly. So what I'm going to do, unfortunately, it's not super easy to do live debugging with Heroku, at least not that I've ever seen. So I think that what I'm going to have to do here, I think I'm going to have to deploy a quick fix. So let's go to YouTube driver and live session ID. So which of these things is it actually successfully doing? It looks like it's successfully getting session ID for YouTube chat ID. I wonder if it's just a simple case of this being a string. Okay, so finished. All right, so this is going to fail pretty hard, pretty fast. but it'll at least tell us what's going on. Restart or debug. You know what? I'm not going to do that because let's do. I have a logger. I do. Logger error. Current stream. Current stream. I could probably do. Yeah, I'll just do this. At least it's safe-ish. Double check here. Ooh, uncaught. Ah, we're getting it here now too. Ah, good, 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 good. It's always nice when you can reproduce it locally. So live session ID is somehow getting set to live chat ID's value. All right, so we need to figure out where that is happening. All right, so let's go back to Stream Manager. Live session ID should be, I know where it's happening. It's this eventual consistency thing that I was working on. Let's see here. It was my fix that I did to try out. Live session ID. There we go. This is wrong. This is very wrong, Beau. So it should be live chat ID under YouTube. YouTube. There we go, live chat ID. There we go. So the problem we were having before is that this current stream information, very bad, this current stream information doesn't get updated very well. So it contains our state, but the only way we get that state currently is anytime the stream goes online or the stream goes offline. So anytime we, within whichever driver we're in this case YouTube, wants to push change to that state. So for example, we are trying to push that a live ID has changed. So the live chat ID is different than what we had expected. Then we want to do this. I think we probably also want to do the same thing for the video ID because in theory that could be different as well. So I'm going to do the same thing here, except for video ID. So live chat ID and video ID. So this means we don't have to wait for this to be registered. We don't have to wait for the stream to come online or offline again. And this was the problem that we had before, where YouTube didn't look like it worked. We'd restart the bot and then it would. So this should fix that for us. So let's go ahead and restart locally. Yay, everything's happy. So that means we can actually post a real update. Let's do yes, no. If anyone's not done Git patch mode, it can be pretty handy for being able to do some fun things. Like if you have changes that you've made and you want to just create a commit with some of those changes, you can use git-p. So what you end up with is a modified version and a modified version that's ready to be committed. So if I go diff, it's only going to show me the logging info. And if I do git diff cached, it's going to show me the bit I actually want to go in. All right, so we're going to deploy that, and we'll just assume this is all going to be good as soon as that's up and running. Either way, we are still getting information here, I believe. Well, actually, we're not getting any of the chat that's happening because the bot's not actually. So hopefully we'll get that bot up and running here relatively soon. Let me see, when can I don't think I have a good way to do that. So I'm gonna have my Slack channel open so I can see when my deployment's completed so I can get the bot running as quickly as possible. Okay, so what we're going to do today is look at how we can reduce the requirement to have polling. So if we look back at the JavaScript code, what we're doing is every 20 seconds, we go through this process to append the chat messages. So we look to see, let's pull this out. Where's poll? Here it is. What we do is we look for the chat messages, we give it the next page token if we have one, and then we go and append all of those messages. So there's a couple of things here that this works really well if we're just doing polling, but there's going to be some changes that we'll have to do to account for the ability to have other messages come in sort of while we're in the middle of this. Looks like Supernova says that Twitch may be having issues getting the loading circle or black screen. All right, well, that's a bummer if Twitch is having issues today, but hopefully the recordings will come out just fine. So what this does is every 20 seconds it goes and gets the information. That's fine. It's not super real time. But 20 seconds is better than not getting the messages at all, which is what was happening in some cases for me in the past. So that's good. But if we start injecting messages that we receive more quickly, it might turn out to be something that we have to do a little differently here. We're gonna have to start keeping track of messages, possibly the IDs, to make sure that when we do the next polling, that any messages we've already received, we don't try to append again. So there could end up being some like race conditioning things. This could turn out to be a horrible mess, but we'll see what we can do. So we'll keep it simple for now, and then maybe in the next session we'll see if we can make this a little smarter. So it looks like the bot's back, or the code's deployed. I think this means I should be able to fire up the bot again. And if the bot's working the way it's supposed to, I think it'll actually be able to collect all of the information for YouTube. Although at this point, I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I think I would have to go in and actually update those values, but we'll see. All right, well, it didn't crash. That's good. And if we go back here, within 20 seconds or so, we should hopefully see some additional chat messages, probably from YouTube. If my theory is correct. So one of the things that we've been doing with this project, or with Astrocast site itself, there we go. So dropped in some messages here, which is good. So this is actually coming from YouTube. It's one of the nice things about the way YouTube does it is that you're able to collect the information, even if you've missed it from the beginning. The timestamps are a little wonky because they're showing up back here. If I reload the page, they still show up in this order, but we still get the data, which is the important part at this point. So one of the things that we're using behind the scenes on Astrocast is a service called Pusher. And Pusher is being used for handling, well, that looks really slow for some reason. Looks like I'm having networking issues as well. Let me share the link. All right, so pusher.com. And using this to notify, especially for things like on-air status. So this little bit up here on the site normally says off-air with a little gray dot. As soon as the text that a stream has started, this goes to on-air. If I click on it, it's actually broadcast the URL for the next session. And this is also what powers the little green bar here, or the little green circle. It shows the the online or offline status of the stream. So that's using Pusher behind the scenes. So what I'd like to do is use that again for the chat messages. We're also using Pusher in one other place. If we look at Pusher driver, there we go. It's actually being used by the bot already. So what the bot does is it creates something to actually look or to, so we're using it in the client sense. And we're actually using this to see when the stream comes online and the stream goes offline. So this is the same exact data that we're using to control the web UI. So the bot itself isn't doing any sort of looking. It's just subscribing to the pusher data to know when the stream goes online and offline. So I'm not exactly sure the best way to use pusher for these sorts of things, but I think that I'm probably going to use the same channel that I've been using for some of the other stuff and just come up with a different message name. So right now, when a new YouTube message comes in, we sync live chat bot. We look at each message as it comes in, and then we record a chat message. So I'm going to go to record chat message. It dispatches record session chat message. And then this is actually going to be consumed as our command, as a command. So if we go to message handler, command, session chat message, record. So this is probably where we're going to start doing some interesting things. Right now, what it does is it only creates a new session chat message and then stores it in the database. So this would be a good place for us to do some additional work like broadcasts. So I'm doing a lot with commands and events, so I think I'm going to continue to do that in this case as well. I'm going to do another top-level message, top-level event that is going to be session chat message was recorded. So let's go to message first, event, and let's do session chat messages. Chat messages. Do singular. I think this little extra s is going to annoy me eventually, but I'm not going to propagate that error. And we'll do session chat message was recorded. All right. And for this, we're only going to implement event. And now this is going to come into sort of a problem, if you will, of trying to figure out how, if you want to make fat events or not. Right now, it would probably be easier to send all of the information that we need since we have it here. So I think that's probably going to be what I'm going to do. So the difference is I could do event bus dispatch session chat message was recorded with just the new message ID. So session chat message get ID. But I don't think that's what I want to do at this point. Because I think this particular message would make sense to send all of the content with it. Mostly because I know how it's going to be consumed. Also because this session chat message was recorded. Probably if we were doing something more like event sourcing, this would probably be the creation event, and it would have all of the content in it. So I feel more comfortable essentially putting everything in it. So let's go ahead and copy all the bits so we know what they are. Here, we're going to copy this. From chat message. Okay, so we're going to add one more thing. So we're going to private session chat message ID. It's going to be an int. Actually, let's just do ID. Now that I think about it, I think that's what we've been doing for the rest of these. It's just ID. There's with one exception, and it's annoying popping up, and I keep forgetting about it. So let's do ID. We don't need the constructor anyway, or the constructor docs. Getters. All right. So let's go ahead and get our event bus in here. All right, so now we can actually do this. So new session chat message was recorded. All right, now we got to give it all of the values. This ID makes sense. So we can just go down the line, session chat message, get source type, chat message, get author ID, message, get timestamp. So I'm looking at the stats here, and I'm wondering if we do actually have a problem on Twitch today. That or else I have an issue. Let me see if I'm still... Yeah, I'm still broadcasting okay. All right, anyway, I'm going to keep working on this. If I have to catch up with people later, that's going to be the way it has to go. Chat message, session. This is going to be one that'll be different. So we want to do command get session ID. All right, so let's see. Expected date time, got date time interface. Int session ID. Add. This is weird. I don't know why it's complaining about this. Expected date time interface. That should be fine. So I think I'm going to leave that like that. Expected int got session chat. Ew. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. I just need to pass in the value. I still don't know about this one, so I'm going to try this. Honestly, this probably is what I could have done for all of them. So I'm going to do that. Author ID. The only one we need to get from the new message actually is the ID. Okay. So now we're going to be dispatching an event called session chat message was recorded. So what we need to do with that now is handle that. And we're going to handle that with pusher. So we have interact with pusher when stream went offline. Yeah, it's going to be sort of similar to those. So let's do push when session chat message was recorded. Oh, yeah, add it. But we're actually gonna rename this. recorded handler. Go ahead and rename the file. We need to implement invoke. And for invoke, we're going to get session chat message was recorded, event. All right, now we need to figure out how to push things on pusher. So let's go here. Oof. Don't know if I actually want to create a command here. It looks a little excessive. Sometimes I'm a little excessive when I do these things. Or I could just follow my own lead. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, so we're going to do new message, do push session chat message. And this will be a command. And we're going to have it have almost exactly the same information. In fact, we will have it all the same. All right, so what we had before was the command bus. So we can push the new command. New push. What was it? Push session chat message event. Source type. So we had ID, source type, author ID, message, and date timestamp, timestamp UTC, and then session ID. All right. Okay, so we have that. So we have push, and then we can go down to our command message handlers for pusher and create push session chat message handler. All right, and then we'll look at how this was created before. So we get our pusher instance. In our case, we're going to have to change the event that we're listening for. So push, there we go. We'll bring in our dependencies. So we have pusher, we have the stream manager. I don't know if we need stream manager actually. So, okay. Yeah, we don't need stream manager. So this is where we get our current stream details. We actually want something different. So let's do session chat message. And then